So I will be presenting in English slowly. So if you don't understand, you can stop me anytime and ask questions. Okay. And again, thank you to Dr. Dia Shannon for inviting us in this symposium. It's a great honor to come here and share our experience. We will not present, I don't know, this is not the best example, I guess, but this is just what we have done in Taman Negara, Malaysia, in the National Park of Malaysia. So I'm from University Technology Mara. I teach there, and I also head of the Center for Biodiversity, Biodiversity and Sustainable Development. And with me, I have our friend, Mr. Kun Adi, and he works with the wildlife with the Malaysian Kompamai, and now he's doing his master's degree in Masters in Heritage and Conservation Management. And also together with me is our friend from the community that we work with, Mr. Roslan Abu Qasim, or in the village we call him Atan. That is his claimer name in the kampong. And then another person is Mr. Abdul Jalil Rahman. In the village we call him Aki, which is the local slang means grandfather. Grandpa. So he is our grandpa in this initiative. Okay. So you can see the name here, Muhammad Saleh Daim. Ade Abu Jamel Awang Mahmud is the head village. Arif Ahmad Nofateha Nohayati is the local boys and girls who work with us, and of course Aki and Atan. Okay. What I will be talking about is, we will just a short introduction on what is community-based conservation, and then we will go and fly a little bit and see what Taman Negara is all about. We check the protected areas, the protected areas, the uniqueness of Taman Negara National Park and its surrounding. And then we go to the community-based ecotourism initiative as a solution to problems in protected area management. And then lastly, we will do the conclusion. Before that, my background is actually on protected area management, on biodiversity management, and my PhD is actually I did a study on community participation in protected area management. And I'm sorry, I cannot sit down when I talk. So I have to move around because I will be more nervous when I sit down. So, okay, what is community-based conservation? It's not a rocket science thing. It's just, a simple concept where we help conservation from the bottom up, from the people up. I don't know in Thailand, in Malaysia, mostly when we talk about conservation initiative or decision or policy or whatever, it comes from the top down. I tell you what to do. So what we are trying to do is we try to reverse this management approach in terms of protected area management. We try to reverse it. We try to give the local people a little bit empowerment or more. We'll see. And then we try to enhance the coexistence between human and nature so that there be better understanding on the interdependency. Actually, I'm quite embarrassed to present community-based from the Malaysian perspective, because when I read the literature, I think many literature shows that project in Thailand, in Laos, in Cambodia, they have more good examples. So I'm quite a bit embarrassed actually to share this, but I brave myself and say, okay, let's just tell them what we do. Okay. And protected area, this is a classroom stuff, definition. I'm not going to bore you with this. This is a definition by IUCN. What is protected area? And in Malaysia, oops, see how nervous I am? See, in Malaysia, excuse me, in Malaysia, in our system, we have many types of protected areas, like in Thailand. We have bird sanctuaries, wildlife reserve, Ramsar site, and so on. It covers almost 6% of the area. And our protected area system has been started since the early 1900s. The first protected area was gazetted in 1906, very early, during the British time. Okay, and there are many issues in terms of conservation of these protected areas. Just to name a few, we have issues in the gazettement and fragmentation of forests. You know, we have not much known about the resources in the forest, and baseline information, okay, and issues with rock animals, elephant into agriculture area, tiger into agriculture area, so we have a lot of human-wildlife conflict going on. And also, these needs need to be addressed, the needs of people. So my work, I look into the needs of people who are neighbors to these protected areas. Okay, from my research, this is what I found. So I studied 10 kampongs in my research, 10 communities, rural communities, 10 villages neighboring to the national park. And then I found out that from their perspective, from their perception, why people don't want to participate into management. And then they give me interesting results, interesting response when they say, this is because the policy and the legislation does not allow us to participate. And this is true. Because in our conservation law in the country, there's no clause saying local people participation. Okay, it's a more institutional, management institution centered type of management. Second, the institutional constraint, the management agencies. They don't have the approach of participation of community. That is the grandpa, Aki. So, Aki, I want to introduce you. Okay. Okay. So, in the management agencies, the idea of working with community is not widely explored. And then attitudinal constraints. The tension, not a good relationship between management agencies and people has created mistrust. I don't trust you. The management agency. The people say, I don't trust you. When you see people on motorbikes go to the forest, the management agency say, there, you want to shoot. Right? When the local people see the management, the kompamai in, patrolling in the village, there, you want to catch people only, your job. So there's always a conflict, mistrust. Mistrust is different thing. Okay, mistrust. It's always there. And then factual and informational constraint. People, local people, they don't get informations about the protected area. They just go around with their life. How many elephants? I don't know. Yesterday there's 2 in my rubber. I don't know. Okay? Oi. So there's the institutional, factual and informational constraint. And then negative impacts of PA, protected area, on the people. Meaning, the policies made in the protected area seldom took into account the benefits of the local people, the communities. Okay, so there's always a negative impact. Another one is when we have a new protected area, people think that protected area, local people go up. This is a negative impact of protected areas. Lastly, in the protected area, there are also other agencies neighboring. The town and country planning manage the planning of the land. The Department of Irrigation manage the river, protected areas has river. The Forestry Department, outside they have a forest reserve. Fisheries Department, they look after the fish inside the river. So there are many agencies working in the same area. But what happened is that seldom they do coordination in management. These are some issues, constraints in protected area management. Okay, enough of that. Let's go fly over Taman Negara. Okay, I see a lot of beautiful birds there. And my friend Aki and Atan is also from the local NGO, bird group Taman Negara, and we always fly. So I want to take you and fly around Taman Negara. Now we are riding the satellite to see Peninsula Malaysia. Taman Negara National Park is here in the middle of the peninsula. Chiang Mai, my mouse cannot go up. So it's somewhere up there on the wall. Okay, it's very far, 2 hours plus fly. This is Taman Negara National Park, 4343 kilometers square. It covers 3 states. This part covers Terengganu. This part is in the state of Kelantan. And this bigger part, 57%, is in the state of Pahang. 3 states, 1 national park. Problem. 3 kings. Thailand only 1. Malaysia got 9. Taman Negara got 3. Wow. How we manage that? Okay. Alright. And protected area, beside all the highland forests in the country, in the peninsula, these are the remaining lowland forests in the region. Most of the lowland forest has fallen or damaged, or not damaged, lost the lowland forest, damaged the lowland forest due for agriculture, the plantation of sawit, oil palm, and many other things. So this is what left of our lowland forests. Why is it important? Most of the big mammals requires the lowland forest. The Sumatran rhino in the peninsula, elephants, we still have elephants. Elephant requires lowland forest. They cannot climb mountains. Problem. If elephant climb mountains, 2,000 meters, 3,000 meters, they will not become elephant anymore. They will become camel. The size does not allow them to go to the higher altitude. Rhinos, elephants. In 2011, I climbed one mountain, 1,200 meters, not very high. Old men, we go to the smaller mountain. Big mountain we give to the young men. 1,200 meters, we found tapir tracks. You know tapir? The black and white. 1,200 meters, 1,200 meters, we get tapir. Wow. And this is something that, the animal beginning to go to the highland. But the elephant says, no, I cannot do that. No, I'm too big for that. I stay down here. Okay. So this is what we have. So Taman Negara National Park established in 1936. The size just now covers 3, managed by the Malaysian Kompamai. Okay, Wildlife and National Park Department. Okay, what's so great about Taman Negara National Park? We have people, we have the forest is huge, and then this is the tourist area. Okay, the entrance. These are the forests. Okay, I fly 3 hours taking photos using Nikon DSLR. Lucky, You don't have to change the film. Long time ago, we take photos, we use 36 film. Finish. You have to put up your head and change the film. I'm just telling the young people how hard it is last time. So you change the film, Steve. Change the film, put up your head, take the vomit bag, and then roll and then now no more, Dr. Prasid. Automatic. Okay? So rivers, villages inside the national park, and when you have communities, you have these 400 years of habitation in the area. There's a long history of the area. 400 years people have been living there around the national park. Of course, it comes with the cultural, traditional, historical heritage, and the local people of Taman Negara, the neighbors of Taman Negara. Okay, there are Malays, there are Orang Asli, the indigenous people. There are 3 tribes there. Okay, this is how they live. So this is a river community. There's only highway is the river. There's no road except to the tourist center, the tourist entry point di Kuala Tahan. And of course, biodiversity, birds, mammals. Yeah, Dr. Prasad. This bird. The bird for the banners for DOI SUTHEP Symposium, for this symposium, same bird. The black-necked monarch. Same bird. This one. Tapir, elephants, of course, fauna, hornbills, and rhinoceros hornbills. Everybody know this? The bucking deer, the sambar deer, right? Of course, the flora. Dr. Dia will be happy to see this. It's a lot of seeds. Wow. Okay. And then everybody knows Malaysia, Thailand, we are rich in biodiversity. Okay. And then, as I mentioned before, I don't look into enforcement or whatever in protected area management. I try to explore how can we work with community and help with the protected area management. So, in our work, what we are trying to do is set an agenda, working with community with these 4 agendas. One is with community-based ecotourism initiative, close to in the neighborhoods of protected area. We want to strive for biodiversity conservation in local areas. Secondly, the creation of buffer zone. We want to create buffer zone using this community-based initiative. You must be wondering, why you want to do buffer zone with community? As I mentioned before, land outside Taman Negara, land outside the national park, there are many agencies and kampongs. And when you talk about buffer zone outside, they will fight. Oh, this is not your place, not your jurisdiction. No. So at the end of the day, outside protected area, no buffer zone. Because they cannot get this coordination on buffer zone. Thirdly, we want to encourage co-management in natural resource management. And lastly, we want to create opportunities for rural economic development. This is our agenda. And then recently, two newly reviewed policies, which is the National Biodiversity Policy. In the new policy, they have stated the importance of community conserved area. And we have started our work there before this policy is reviewed. And we were like, now we are in good shape, man. We have this inserted in the policy. And then also a newly reviewed, the ecotourism policy mentioned about community-based tourism. The second time we were so excited. That's it. We have 2 strong policy on this field that has inserted the importance of working with communities, with local communities. Then we said, now our initiative is in good hands. We have the direction. We need to present this to the ministry and tell them, hey, this is what we are doing is according to your policy. Okay, again, where is the community? So this is Taman Negara. Our work is around this region of Taman Negara in the state of Pahang. There are many villages in this area, and this is a satellite image. Okay, I don't know why I cannot open the link. Let me do this. Okay. This is the river boundary. The red is the river boundary of the national park. This is the national park, and this is the outside national park where we have many villages. No roads to these villages. Now road only until here, until this village. Before 1998, no road until here, the whole area. 98, this kampung get road. Last year, the road goes here. And now, the road construction is going on. But now they are still using boats. So my work, our work, we work with these three communities first. We will show you later. Organized, run by the local people. 2014, we start this. We want to show the sturgeon project. The money does not come from sturgeon. We can make money from these sustainable activities. Our way of fighting the sturgeon project. Wow, very action. We don't have money. The first project, I remember we go around and search for money. We start the first bird count with only 5,000 ringgit. Not enough money. So we stop, don't worry about that, we just do 5,000 ringgit, we do the first event. You must be wondering, what is bird count? So they go there and count birds, learn songs, we don't do that. Bird count means, because in Malaysia, like in Thailand, bird watching is already big, correct? Big, it's already big. But bird watching is only for the expert, which we call the elitist birders. We are the elite birders. And these people, they go for bird race. Yes, there are bird race event in the country. It's a tourism event. Bird race is where these people go and race who can get more species. They get presents. So we say we don't do that. This is for the elitists. Bird count, we want to create awareness among the younger generation to love birds, and hopefully they become the bird elitists. So what we did is that our focal is university students, school students to come. We provide equipments and everything. And what we did was, there's no competition. It's a voluntary program. They come, they pay, they come and help us identify how many species we have in that region, in the kampong. It's a big forest. So we divided them, and we have this event. At night we have another event, bird calling, identification. So the first year we did this, we get almost 200 participants, interestingly. At that time we charge only 90 ringgit per person, very cheap. You come, no equipment, we give everything. You come 90 ringgit, first attempt, 200 participants, we make a little bit money. Break even, but no profit. No problem. Second year, we do this again. So the first year, at 200 people, we identify 90 species. 90 species. Second year, 290 participants. Third year, 300. Last year, this year, March, we only do this event in March. First week of March. This is our date. And this year, 400 participants. And the fee also increased. We have to do business. But Group Taman Negara need money. The NGO need money. So this year we charge 120 ringgit. 90 first year, fourth year 120 ringgit. Okay. We make a little bit of money, we can buy more, we can buy another 10 binoculars. So this is what we did. And then the species identified each year also increase because when we have bigger groups, we can spread them. You go to this area, you go to this area, you go to this area. The best part is on the science part. Where can one area has bird data collection every year? And we have done that. We have collected data, one area for 4 years. And we already planned for the event for next March. And we want to make it even bigger.
So how many species have you got then?
This year, we collected 142 species from the first year, 90. And also we have gathered 9 species of hornbill. 9 species of hornbill. And then the Ministry of Tourism, when they hear this project, they set up a committee. And Aki and Atan and I were in the committee to think about every tourism for the national agenda. Oh, local people become committee in the ministry. Oh. They call it NKEA. What is that? National Key
Economic Area.
National Key Economic Area. So every tourism has become a national key economic area. Area is tourism, agriculture. So under national key area of tourism, every tourism has become one of their attention, and they set up a committee to think about, to discuss about that. And we take that opportunity to be in the national agenda. Action. In Malaysia we say action, I don't know in Thailand. This is our slang. Actions mean action. How do you say in Thailand? Action. The head become big. I'm just joking. So it has gone that far. And we only started in 2014. So now, Bird Group Taman Negara go to other communities. We help other communities to develop their own tourism. We help them to train young people. Please tell me when to stop. See where the engine get hot, so the brake doesn't work. Okay. So we already discussed while in Chiang Mai in the hotel room. We're discussing, now we have to change our constitution. We want Bird Group to become a national NGO, and then these communities, other communities will become members or affiliate to the Bird Group Taman. Because our constitution only in the kampong, in the ban. Now we want to make it become the national agenda. Alright. What the Bird Group Taman Negara has achieved, we organized the bird count event already for the 4th year. We plan for next year. This event has been listed in the state visit year 2017, Pahang State visit year 2017. In the tourism calendar of the state, it has listed last year, Aki? Last year, Work Group Taman Negara is nominated, is a nominee to the ASEAN Community-Based Tourism Award. We didn't win. No, we didn't win, but we already happy. Nomination is already happy after 2 years of work. Right? They come and they do assessment. Okay. So what we missed out during the first assessment, what is our weaknesses? One, gender. Because there's no girls and ladies in the project, all boys and guys. So in CBT, this is no good. Gender bias. No, just kidding. Right? This is no good because one of the criteria is gender, the involvement of women. So this year, after that, we have groups, we have young people, young girls, in that thing. Huh? Almost right now. How long do we have? How many minutes more? No more. Okay. Let me conclude. I have talked about those. And then from VGTN in one village, we go to the second village, which in the second village we have started. And we tried to help them. And this village we created birds activity. We created the heritage, traditional, cultural and history. You can see here. And this is a Benos bird camp in another village where we have a 26 acres of forest allocated to become a bird area where we do replanting, improving the habitat, and also we have artificial bird nest from coconut. You can see here. Okay, replanting, I don't know who is this guy. And then all done by the community, and this is the future plans. We want to have a hatchery for this species. We found out that we have canters of giant soft-shell turtle. So we want to have a hatchery. We want to buy eggs from local people and hatch them, common like turtle. And we want to make them as a conservation and also a tourism project. Okay, and there's another village. All the young boys get together and save fish and forests, and they bring visitors too. And this is another village. This village are rich with geological features. They have caves and everything, so they are more into caves. Okay, and this is what we are trying to do. Okay, we try to create these opportunities economic to the local people, and what we try to achieve is we try to balance conservation and human needs. We try to achieve sustainability. With that, I end up my presentation. Thank you very much.
ก็ตอนนี้ก็จะเป็นช่วงเวลาคำถามนะคะสัก 2-3 คำถามสำหรับดร.โมฮัมหมัด ซาเลห์ ไดยิมค่ะ So right now I will give this opportunity for a few questions to our presenter.
ขอพูดภาษาไทยรู้ผมจะมุ่งถามว่านกในมาเลเนี่ยแล้วก็แหล่งที่เขาไปย้ายนะครับมันเป็นนกที่อยู่โลคอลอยู่ที่นั่นหรือเป็นนกที่ไมเกรต My question is I want to know that the species you present of those birds they are local birds they stay there if you observe them at different time of the year, in January, middle of the year, at the end, in particular areas, are they the same? The north, the middle, the south of Malaysia, it's quite long, maybe about 300 kilometers, right? Okay. They're different in different time of the year. That means they migrate. If they migrate, they should migrate through Thailand as well. Thailand, the north of Thailand, the middle very big, all the way the long peninsula, probably 3,000 kilometers. Okay, they should migrate. As far as I know, I got a book. The bird counts in Thailand. The figure is around 680 or 90, somewhere around there. Okay, bird observed in Thailand. They should be similar in Malaysia.
Yes.
In another case, in Thailand we also have some species, probably a lot because the huge area, they are local. They stay there. They don't migrate. Okay. I think Thailand and Malaysia should work together, observing like this. Okay, that should be a good project, and work together to the tourism bird watching. Okay, that's my question.
Thank you very much. Very good questions. I agree very much with you. We should share information. We should have a collaborative research. I give you one example. You know gibbon, the monkey, higher order gibbon. Gibbon. You know that gibbon? The study gibbon in Malaysia, the study of gibbon in Malaysia, the last literature that I found is 1957 by Chivas. The last. Because gibbon is difficult to study. But in Laos and Cambodia, I heard there are scientist groups working on gibbons. But there's nobody working on Malaysia. So, as what you say, there is a paucity of information. There's a vacuum, no information from the Malaysian peninsula. Laos, Cambodia, and then Thailand a little bit. I don't know if there's a gibbon study in Thailand. Yes, there are. So Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, but none in Malaysia. I don't know why. I'm not a primate scientist. And I'm not a bird expert, sir. I'm not a bird expert. But I agree with you. In Malaysia, we have about 400 something species. 400, 700 species. They can talk better. I think you can answer the question.
Thank you. I'm Aki. Yeah. So we have almost 800 species of bird in Malaysia. Yeah. And I really agree, as you said, yeah, that we have collaboration. We should share this information, this data, and then it will be very good if local community do this. Yeah. So thank you very much.
And that's what we plan to do. So what they are doing is in the middle of the peninsula. We are already working with one community in the East Coast Northern, and we are working with one community in the Southern Peninsula in Malacca. So at least we have 3 areas in the peninsula. And in our area, the species that we collected, they are local species. I mean native species, and they are also birds, migratory birds. We have that. And the data collection activity does not stop only in March during bird count. The data coming in throughout the years from the nature guide. So when they bring tourists, they take pictures and watch and list down the species, and we have our database. And I'm very slow at writing papers. I haven't finished up the paper off. I think we need to finish that paper. And we try to produce a book. We are planning to produce a book. Okay? I agree with you. So I put that with Dr. Dia, with the center. Maybe we can do some work on birds.
ค่ะ
Thank you.
ก็ขอบคุณนะคะ เดี๋ยวเราคงจะต้องเลื่อนไปสู่กิจกรรมถัดไป แต่ก็ขอบคุณ Terima kasih ดร. โมฮัมหมัด ซาเลห์ อาจัย เดี๋ยวเราจะขอมอบของที่ระลึกนะคะให้กับ ดร.โมฮัมหมัด ซาเลห์ ไดอิมนะคะขอเรียนเชิญอาจารย์ประสิทธิ์อีกสักครั้งนะคะในการมอบของที่ระลึกนะคะเพื่อเป็นการขอบคุณให้กับดร.ซาเลห์นะคะTerima kasih. ในลำดับต่อไปนะคะเราก็จะย้ายห้องค่ะเราจะยังมีกิจกรรมที่สำคัญอีกกิจกรรมหนึ่งของงานนี้นะคะนั่นก็คือการเสวนาโต๊ะกลมกันนะคะเดี๋ยววันนี้เราจะย้ายห้องจากห้องนี้นะคะเดี๋ยวทุกท่านเดินออกไปด้านนอกเนี่ย